spreading like a virus. Hate is cheap. From afar it costs you nothing. Sister, take my hand. Brother, we will stand. Open up your heart and find love is turning over tables, breaking off chains. When I see you in the stranger, I'm no longer a slave. Turning over tables, tearing down walls, building up the bridges between us all. Let courage be my willingness to listen, so I can feel the wound inside my heart. Let seeds of peace grow in hearts around us, that trees of hope bring shade to all mankind. You can take my hand, together we will stand. Open up your heart and find love is turning over tables, breaking off chains. When I see you in a stranger, I'm no longer a slave. Turning over tables, tearing down walls, building up the bridges between us all. When will we stand for love? When will we stand for love? When will we stand for love? None can separate all that love has made. We are everyone the same. We refuse to be our brothers' enemies. We will stand for all mankind. Sister, take my hand. Brother, we will stand. Open up your heart and find love is turning over tables, breaking off chains. When I see you in a stranger, I'm no longer a slave. Turning over tables, tearing down walls, building up the bridges between us all. Love is turning over tables, breaking off chains. When I see you in a stranger, I'm no longer a slave. Turning over tables, tearing down walls, building up the bridges between us all.
Our chalice lighting today comes from the Soul Matters team at the UUA. We light this chalice to remember the light within, to know that the hunger we feel inside is an echo of inner wisdom that wants something more for us, for others, for this weary yet wonderful world. Okay, all those who are young of body or who are feeling young of spirit this morning or who are accompanying them are invited to come forward for the time for all ages. Oh, goodness. It's a heavy one. Anyone have any guesses?
Yes.
What's in it? They saw. What is it?
Kenny!
Yeah. All right. So. It is a lot of candy. So, we've talked about this before. In Unitarian Universalism, democracy is an important value for us. Voting is an important practice for us. So I wanted you to help me with some voting. Do you all remember how to vote?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. All right. So you have which one should go in the bowl? Okay. This one? Raise hands. Raise hands.
No. William, no.
Raise hands. Okay. All right. So this one looks like it goes in. Okay. All right. I'm gonna put this one back here for now. That one later. So we'll put that one. All right. Next vote. Okay. We got Snickers and we got Nerds Clusters. Snickers, raise hands. Nerds Clusters, raise hands. All right, the clear winner. Clear winner. Okay. All right. Okay, we got Dum-Dums, we got 100 grand. Let's get a vote. 100 grands?
No.
Hands? Dum-Dums? Dum-Dums are the winner.
Yeah, they're worth 100 grand. I think 100 grand. My favorite George chocolate.
Okay, we got Reese's, and then we got this mix. Snickers, M&M's, Skittles, Starburst. Who wants the mix?
Mix.
Okay,
Mix.
and who wants the Reese's?
Mix.
The adults are gonna. The adults are gonna.
Mix.
All right, I think this one seems like a one.
We're saving
Let's see. I think, I got one more choice for you here.
Oh, good.
We got Tootsie Pops and we got Twix. So who wants the Tootsie Pops? Who wants the Twix? Okay, so Twix. Okay. And, oh. Got one more. So I've got cookies and cream and another mix. So who wants the cookies and cream?
You're hurting.
And who wants the mix? This mix wins.
What?
Alright.
Only one mix.
Why you must give you need?
What? There's one mix. Two. What? Reese's.
And then
Come on, guys.
You have a selected few of those. Wait, are you dumping the ones that we found?
that was just an extra.
Yeah, the other one from me.
All right. Well, so you guys made some good mixes here. Some really good mixes.
The one for the adults.
So I'm going to keep these for myself.
What?
What? It's the government.
And I'm going to have you guys vote on what your snack is going to be in religious education. I've got some good choices here. We have carrot sticks. And then this, I haven't mixed it up yet, but so it's mushroom, capers, olives, smoked oysters, and strawberry yogurt. We're going to mix them all together. Does anyone have any allergies? Does anyone have any allergies here?
I have an allergy to vegetables.
Shellfish? Okay. Well, it already has shellfish in it, so good. Yeah.
I have an
All right.
allergy to that. All that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm allergic to the candy. All the Jolly Ranchers I'm on, so it seems so good.
Better grab those bowls.
You see the Jolly Ranchers?
All right. So if you pick the carrot sticks, guys, next week I'll give you a choice of tomatoes or apples.
Apple.
Yeah. And if you pick that delicious mixture, then next week you'll get a choice of sardines mixed with chocolate sauce and a moldy sock. Yeah. So whatever you choose, next time the choices will be closer to your choice this week. Kind of see? So if you choose the apples next week, then maybe the week after that it would be strawberries and cookies. And if you chose the moldy sock, the week after that it would be, maybe rotten garbage and a fur ball the cat vomited up. Yeah? So I got you, don't worry. So democracy is really important, right? And we wish voting worked, like choosing your perfect bowl of candy exactly how you want it, but really a lot of times it's more like choosing between the carrot sticks and the strawberry yogurt, olive, caper, sardine mixture. But my question for you is, if you had a few months to get there and you were going to vote every week, how would you get to the perfect bowl of candy?
You'd eat the healthy.
Which one would you pick? You'd pick the carrots, yeah,
You get the apples.
because then you get the apples,
And then you get the cookies
and then you get the yeah, so it's kind of a process, and that's kind of how democracy works, isn't it?
and then we get the candy.
And then, maybe if the choices weren't getting any closer to what you wanted, you might change the rules about how the voting works, because there's different ways that democracy can work. So maybe there's a way that you can get some better choices too. But you keep working for the choice that's closer to what you want. And in Unitarian Universalism, the choice that we want is one that treats everyone like they're important, takes care of everyone, also animals and plants and the rest of the web of life. So, you're going to get your carrot sticks, but to remind you that voting is important and that it can still get us what we want, one of these is going to be the bowl of candy on my desk that you guys can choose from, and the other one will be at the trunk or treat next week. So you're going to get all the candy.
You know what I'm going to do at the trunk or treat?
At the trunk or treat? You're going to dump it?
Over and over again, and like grab everyone's candy before anyone
Yeah.
else can get it.
Oh, okay, never mind.
All right. So as the children and their adult religious leaders depart for religious exploration, let's sing them on their way with As You Go. The words are in your order of service.
We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go, to nurture the spark of your precious life. We hold you in our love as you go.
The reading is by Reverend Scott Taylor. Who we listen to is who we become, and it's brought to us by Soul Matters. Let us turn inward in the spirit of prayer and meditation. Sometimes the world outside us can be so loud, making it hard to hear those voices we once knew so well, voices that once knew us so well. And so to silence we turn, to listen for the echoes of memories that make us whole, the pain of others that reawakens our hearts, and the beauty of this wildly generous world that wants us back. Friends, in the quiet of this space, let us not just listen for clarity and guidance, but to become larger. Those voices whispering from deep within are not just calling us home, they are home. We don't have conversations, we are our conversations. We must remember who we listen to is who we become. What we listen for determines our path. Yes, sometimes the world outside us can be so loud, and so may the stillness we find here companion us and care for us, ensuring that we never get lost. So be it. Amen.
It's that time again, election season. Existential dread is in the air. Social media is terrible. Racism and misinformation is flooding the zone. And everyone is making their political endorsements. Taylor Swift, Elon Musk, Logan Paul. So I guess it's time to make my endorsement. Everyone on the board is hyperventilating now in a paper bag in fear that I'm about to jeopardize our nonprofit status. But I'm not going to endorse a candidate. I am not endorsing a party. I am endorsing love. I'm endorsing loving your neighbor as yourself. And when I say your neighbor, I mean anyone who needs it. We have more than enough. No one should have to earn the right to survive. I'm endorsing loving our children enough to give them a livable planet, clean drinking water, air that won't make them sick. I'm endorsing loving vulnerable people enough to refuse to make their lives harder. And if you think that's an attack on a particular candidate you're supporting, I'm not sure what to tell you. I'm endorsing loving humanity enough to believe in democracy as a way we can build a future, and not giving in to the despair of authoritarianism. I'm endorsing loving this world enough to refuse to divide it into us and them, whoever you think them is. I'm endorsing approaching the world with uncompromising compassion, not compassion for the people closest to us or the people like us or the people who look like us or share our religion or our nationality, not even only the people we think are the good ones. Uncompromising compassion means everyone. I'm endorsing love because my hope is bigger than a political candidate or a political project. Politics is one way people's lives can be deeply impacted, so it is our moral duty to engage it sometimes. You should vote, write postcards, do the things, but the fullness of our responsibility in public life is bigger than electoral politics, and faith is bigger than that. We are living in a time when politics does not reflect our faith. Faith calls us to extravagant, impractical, courageous generosity. In our politics, too often not generosity, but greed is running the show. Love and greed are always in tension with each other. These moments in history when the suffering of greed is most extreme bring with them the greatest danger of authoritarianism and violence. There are so many easy scapegoats and prejudices to exploit in the service of greed. And many of us sense that danger, and it's important to respond to it, but it can also distract us from the bigger picture. We can get caught up in choosing who to demonize, which honestly works out pretty well for those who care only about themselves and not about the common good. When we are balanced so precariously, it is all the more important that we direct our attention to what really matters, which is what love is calling us to in this moment. Greed loves a bad guy. Greed gives justifications for suffering. It ignores the physical realities of people, especially those outside its circle of safety and inclusion, which by necessity gets smaller and smaller and smaller until it holds no one. Love makes sure that everyone has the real things they need and works to expand the circle of those whose needs are met wider and wider and wider until it holds everyone. Love speaks from a place of hope and trust in each other. Greed deals in fear and in distrust, looking for a feeling of superiority, punishing symbolic and imagined victimization while itself inflicting real violence, never meeting real needs, not responding to the real causes of suffering, never speaking from compassion. Love is honest, greed lies. No political party or candidate has a monopoly on greed. And politics is very rarely the expression of love it has the potential to be. That's why I'm endorsing love and compassion and not a party. I want to be clear that endorsing love and holding uncompromising compassion doesn't mean being moderate. The middle ground between humanity and cruelty is still cruel. Love is very far from moderate. Love is patient, love is kind, but love is radical. I also want to be clear in this election season that electoral politics is not self-expression, and recusing yourself from politics in the name of perfectly expressing love is no virtue. We misunderstand power. If we think that in a binary political system, sitting things out is not endorsing the status quo, or that criticism of one side doesn't help whoever the alternative is. Let's be real. The composition of the federal courts is more important than your moral purity when it comes to preventing suffering. And it's not realistic to expect a political candidate to be a container for all our hopes for the world, especially considering what it takes to be a viable candidate in our political system. Voting is almost always a gesture of harm reduction rather than a reflection of our deepest hopes. But there is a way to hold to love and not to political sides. And you know, it's actually not that complicated. It mostly just looks like focusing on real people and their needs. Not symbols intended to amp up people's anger, but things we all need, like housing, water, medicine, freedom from violence. It looks like listening to the stories of everyone, especially people whose stories are less often heard, proposing and working for concrete changes that improve people's lives. The message of greed is always, watch out, you're losing something. Someone's going to take something from you. It talks about fear and punishment. Punishment of the right people, violence toward the right people. It tries to find satisfaction in the pain of those people. And of course, there's no joy to be found there. So the cycle starts again, and somehow, over time, more and more people are pushed outside the circle of safety. The message of love is, we are in this together. What helps you helps me too. Let's imagine a better world together. the circle gets bigger. And unfortunately, in American politics, both parties talk about punishing the right people because it's politically expedient. Neither is really working for marginalized people without being forced to. Neither is trying to boldly embody love in action. Electoral politics matter, and politics can be a tool to build a better world, but it's a very blunt instrument. Now, telling people not to vote because no candidate perfectly embodies love is not the answer, but we do need to imagine something more. Love requires a lot of imagination. Love means imagining something better. Because in the view of love, we're always trying to make that circle big enough to hold everyone. Love isn't looking for why we're superior to others. And this is the hard part, even if they're totally deluded and hateful. It's looking for their potential for growth. Love means that if you see a problem and no one else is doing something about it, you have to imagine a solution and affirmatively work on behalf of it, rather than focusing on tearing others down for their imperfect efforts. You have to go out and organize and do the work. You have to offer an alternative. So that's my endorsement. A candidate that upends every party and power structure. A candidate that finds a way to make us all uncomfortable by demanding more of us no matter what our politics are. A candidate hated by authoritarians everywhere. A candidate that truly has the potential to change the world. Love in 2024. Love in 2028. Love in every election. Love as a way of life. May it be so.
It is time for our offering. We have received freely of gifts that minister to our needs of body and spirit. May we now gladly give a portion of that bounty. 2/3 of the cash offering will support our congregation. The remaining 1/3 will go to support our justice cause. This month, it is Mobile Hope. Mobile Hope is a nonprofit that provides support and emergency shelter to youth up to age 24 who are at risk, precariously housed or homeless, and empowers them to become self-sufficient and experience improved well-being. The Washingtonian named Mobile Hope one of the 20 DC area charities where your donation will make an impact. A donation bin for clothing and goods is always at the back of the sanctuary under the name tags. If you are in the sanctuary, you may place your donations in the basket as they are passed. Online attendees can use the donate button in the virtual order of service. Donations may also be made by mail or via the donate tab of the UUCS homepage. And there is also a QR code in the printed order of service that leads to the donate tab. Please note when your donation is towards your pledge. Thank you for your generosity to our congregation and to our community.
As we prepare to conclude our service, you are invited to reach out your hands and hearts into the space of this community to join in a virtual circle inclusive of all. First, let us extinguish our chalice while we carry forth its light in our hearts. Please join us in our covenant. This congregation is dedicated to the proposition that behind all our differences and beneath all our diversities, there is a unity that binds us together and makes us one in spite of time and death and the space between the stars. We pause now in silent witness to that unity.
In her book, American Sunrise, Joy Harjo says, "We are making our grandchildren's world with our words. We perceive a world in which everyone sits at the table together with enough for everyone. May we make our grandchildren's world with love. Go forth and be a blessing."